My guardian angel has a lot of time on their hands and makes sure that I get what I deserve.
This is a true story.
My negative choices started really, really young.
I didn't have any friends that were sober.
I didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I think I'm going to be a drug addict today.
I didn't want to feel the pain I was feeling anymore.
I needed it. I had to have it.
I'm not in control. It's never enough.
He's like, here, try this. I almost lost my life.
That is my main motivator.
I don't want to go do this no more.
We do recover in Vermilion County. There's nobody who can tell me any different.
Viewer discretion is advised. The content in this video addresses sensitive topics related to drugs and alcohol and may not be suitable for all audiences. This content is intended for informational and educational purposes only and should not be considered as personal medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment recommendations. Always consult with a qualified healthcare professional or a substance use disorder specialist for personalized guidance. The views and opinions expressed are those of the individuals presenting them and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Vermilion County Public Health or the Vermilion County Mental Health 708 Board.
Hi, I'm Jim Russell, and I'm your host for Roads to Recovery. We've been looking at some common themes that can run through a lot of these stories that we're looking at. One of those is that some people turn to a substance because they're looking for a particular feeling, a feeling of belonging, a feeling of something that's enjoyable, at least momentarily, a feeling that they're more than what they picture themselves to be. But then the risk, the dangers of turning to that substance show up when it impacts employment, when it impacts family, when it changes a person's life entirely and turns them and their lifestyle into something that they never expected. And that's Kat's story that we're going to listen to now.
It's all fuzzy still to me because I've been in this for a long time. Oh, I'm nervous. I don't know why. Okay. I came here to get my together. I'm lucky to say I haven't gotten into any trouble that could have put me in a situation where I never see my kid again. I've been behind bars. I've killed anybody. I've killed myself. All of which, those are not yets. So I don't want them to be ever. Something I'm really enjoying about my life right now, getting structure back in my life. I think that has to do with a lot of not having it before, and then filling it with things that incorporate sober fun. Because that's so foreign to me. I don't know how to do that at all. My mom has a picture of me chasing around my sister with a garden snake. I had to be 3 or something. I was just wild. I had a lot of energy and I didn't know where to put it. I was just crazy. I grew up in a really good house. You know what I mean? My parents are still together. My inside home environment was awesome. My mom kept us busy a lot. I was in every type of dance, competing till I was about 17. I've seen my mom drunk a couple times. I've seen my dad drunk a few times. There's always alcohol in the house. I just remember it being not a big deal. It wasn't like I was raised in this effed up situation of mom and dad split and he's abusive, blah, blah, blah. Outside of my house was a little different. In school, I needed a lot of tailoring to my education. I have a learning disability that I would like to say I grew out of. I had something wrong with my brain. I had ADHD. My mom was like, I don't want you to be the guinea pig for Ritalin. I struggled really hard with my self-esteem. I was bullied super bad for the learning disability. I got my butt whooped in a fight. God, what a hillbilly. I think that had a lot to do with me feeling just blah. It's genetically in me, the odds were stacked against me. At first it was just something that was cool. In high school, 17, 18, I started smoking weed. I thought it was too cool. I meet this boy, he's my first real boyfriend, right? Gets me hooked on Adderall. These are my prescription drugs, you can have one, blah, 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 it's fine. They're not a big deal. And I instantly fell in love with it. I felt like just such a social butterfly. I had energy, I felt like funny, and these amphetamines suppressed my appetite. At the beginning, I could take like 1 or 2 and I'd be like, I had like breakfast and that was it. Then it was like, whew, like it really hit me like I'm not eating at all. Then he breaks up with me. Awesome. So now I'm hooked on this pill and now I gotta outsource it. I don't really know where to find it. So I started drinking heavily. Met up with this dude that was selling cocaine, so that's kind of how I got introduced to it. He's now my son's dad. He kept me high. It got to the point where he was really abusive, and I didn't care because you're keeping me high. It was really, really bad. I was down to 105 pounds, just, skeletor. I think I lasted 2 days on 1 Snickers. I was getting down to nothing. And you could just see in my face, I just look empty. And then I needed them in order to have the energy to like get through the day. It was just this vicious cycle of just. It's so nice out. What saved my life was having Michael. And as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I was smoking, I was drinking, doing whatever, probably other illegal substances. I stopped smoking weed. I wasn't drinking anymore. And I was like, oh my God, there's a baby inside of me. Like it's a baby, you know what I mean? It's not something like a plan B is gonna fix. So I knew in my heart, like I wasn't gonna abort it. I end up having my son, one of the best days of my life. That's the longest I've been clean since I was like 11 years old or whenever I started. So I felt awesome. Then I started meeting back with this guy who was feeding me the drugs, my son's dad. I had the mindset of a functioning alcoholic. Yeah, that's not a real thing. That's not real. But that's how I thought. Now I got it. I can play it cool. I know what to do. I know how much to use, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, it doesn't work out that way. I wasn't going out on the weekend to like have a beer and like do blow in the bathroom, because I wanted to like socialize and have fun. What I learned over time was like, you're self-medicating. Your friends can go out and have a couple beers and be done, but you have to get blackout drunk every night. And then you have to do something else after it. It's never enough. It's just this struggle in my mind of like, it sucks. I felt like I was using for energy, to go to bed at night, like things that like, if you're not using are pretty simple to do. But I never wanted to give myself that 2 weeks of like just being clean because I felt like I just couldn't do it. It got to the point where things that I never in a million years when I first started my addiction would have thought that I would have been doing. I didn't think I had a problem until my very last relapse when I realized I'm not in control.
Have you read through the first step yet?
For me, it's not being able to go to the bar and having like 1 beer. I lost my job because I was doing so many drugs. I'm just like a walking zombie. They found me sleeping in my car like an a-hole. And I was like, I'm fine, I'm totally fine, I was just taking a nap. Like, sue me, whatever. Lost the job, and my parents enabled the out of me. They love me, you know what I mean? And I played that system like awesome. I ended up stealing from them all the time. I ended up pawning stuff. Like it got to that point where they kicked me out. The amount that I stole, the jewelry that was taken from my mom, pawn shops, they'll take that jewelry if you try to be like righteous and go back and, pay for it. They'll melt it. So then you can't get it back. And they did that with some of the things, the last things that they had from their parents. That sucks. That sucks. But you're not thinking about that when you just want to get high, The only way to pay them back is staying clean. I owe at least that to them. What's different this time is I want it, and I never did before. I just want to see myself in the future getting to the point where I don't even think about it anymore. People that have been in recovery for a long time, they'll tell you those thoughts of, I want to use. It takes like 20 to 30 minutes for that to go away. And I can't wait to get to that point because I know I can do it. And I just feel so much like so much more peaceful not using. There's like the recovery aspect, And then there's the mental health aspect. I'm gonna put my hair up, sorry. I'm getting nervous sweats. No, life isn't gonna get any easier just because you're clean. I know I have attention hyperactivity disorder. I'm clinically depressed, and they sprinkled in a little bit of bipolar, whatever spectrum it is. And now this is me without drugs, without medicine. Who knows what's gonna happen, you know what I mean? I feel optimistic. I feel very, very, very grateful. I also feel like enthusiastic and like excited. I feel so much more in my head and capable of making decisions. Just mental clarity and like just this feeling of relief. I feel myself. I feel myself. Maybe that's what I needed this whole time, was to just not do anything and just be who I am. Just being my true, like, organic, no substance self, to finally feel happy in my own skin. Yeah.
So why this effort? Why these stories? We're telling these stories, all different stories, with all different roads that these folks are on to recovery, to help you know and understand that recovery is possible. Whether it's you, it's a family member, it's a friend, it's a coworker, it is possible for someone who's struggling with substance use disorder to get help. We want to encourage people to reach out and get the help that they need. If you or someone you know and love is struggling with substance use disorder, don't just sit back and watch it happen. Call us here at the Mental Health 708 Board at 217-443-3500. We don't provide direct services in our office, but we can connect you with several different agencies in our community who do provide those services. 2 points of emphasis. Everybody's journey is different. No one's going to look exactly alike. And then the second point is, don't forget, recovery is possible and things can get better. And there are people in this community, there are people in your family and friend circle who want to help you on your own personal road to recovery.